Welcome back to In Pursuit 360. And today we are going to talk about, it's kind of selfish. I'm going to talk to you about why I actually started this channel and where we're going to go from here. Okay, so here we go. So again, welcome to In Pursuit 360. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below, the thumbs up, thumbs down if you have to. But just tell me why you do give me a thumbs down. And, hey, bell notification will tell you when the next video is coming out. So let's talk about why did I start this channel, In Pursuit 360? Well, there are a couple of things that inspired me to start this. One was some young folks that I was working with in private security after my 21 years in law enforcement were interested in trying to get into law enforcement. And they kept asking me questions, and they would tell me that they had trouble during the interview, or they had trouble during the polygraph, or whatever trouble they were having. And so I would start running them through scenarios. I'd ask them interview questions and things like that. And then they said that they ended up doing better. One of them is on a law enforcement agency in Northern Virginia. Another one is with a federal agency now. So I kind of thought, and actually my son started a YouTube channel for video gaming. And I kept trying to tell him what he needed to do to make it better. And I thought, well, you know what? Why don't I start a channel where I can help people possibly obtain their dream or goal of becoming a law enforcement officer? And at the same time, it was my original intent to talk about law enforcement in general. And if you watch my introductory video, I talk about explaining law enforcement, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because it's out there, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly. The good things that law enforcement officers do, yes, even sometimes the bad things law enforcement officers do. And the ugly things that they see on a regular basis. So yeah, that was the original intent of starting this YouTube channel, was to help people get into the career field and to make sure that people, whether you were interested in the career field or not, understood exactly what law enforcement meant and what good, bad, and ugly was. And I got a comment the other day, and I've been real careful not to get into politics, and I don't talk about things that are going on in the world as far as law enforcement goes. Every now and then I'll throw something in there, but pretty much I stay away from it. And then I get comments about, if you notice, I'm not in my regular recording spot, but in my regular recording spot, I've got a thin blue line flag in the background. And people make comments about, oh, get that gangland symbol off of there, and gang this and gang that, and I just delete them, right? I just delete the comments. I've not written back on them. I've not made videos about them or anything else. And then I got another comment, and it kind of dawned on me that I need to get back to the original intent of the channel, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, so let's talk about the ugly. The ugly is, like this comment said, it was a video where I talked about the importance of people that deal with law enforcement need to comply with orders, right? A lot of these people out here on the street that you see on the news, where they're getting hurt or they're dying or whatever, once you hear the whole story, it turns out they're not complying with the orders of the officer. And this person wrote a comment basically saying, yeah, comply or die. Those seem to be the only options when dealing with the police. If you don't comply, they're going to kill you, or something very similar. It's basically what he said. And the comment is still there, and I'm going to respond to it in writing. But my big response is this video right here. I think I've had it. I think I have had it with this idea that it's okay for people to break the law. It's okay for people to resist arrest after they've broken the law. That's not how this society is supposed to work. That is not how the United States of America has been so successful and so great for so many years, because we just suddenly decide, I don't like that law. I'm not going to follow it. That crap doesn't work. So for you that wrote that comment, you've either had some bad experience where you got caught doing something you weren't supposed to, or a family member got caught, or a friend got caught doing something you're not supposed to and got punished by the law like you deserved, like you deserved. You don't get to pick and choose what laws you're going to follow. All right? Law enforcement doesn't get to pick and choose what laws they're going to enforce. If the law says you shall arrest, then the officer shall arrest. There's not an option. If the law says you may arrest, the officer may end up using the totality of the circumstances to decide whether they're going to arrest or not, or whether they're going to charge or not. But there are some laws out there that say you shall arrest. And guess what? You as the citizen, when you break one of those laws, you don't get to go, well, you know what? I just don't feel like getting arrested today, so I'm going to be stupid and run from you. Or I'm going to be stupid and I'm going to fight you. Or I'm going to be stupid and dive in my car even though I'm wanted for a weapons violation. If you resist arrest and it's a legal arrest, you get what you deserve. I don't know what else to tell you. If you push and you resist, you break, you don't get to pick. You just don't get to pick. If you're doing 60 miles an hour in a 55 zone and you get a ticket, that's on you. It's not on the officer. It's not on the agency. If you think that the speed limit needs to be 60, then vote people into office that will change the law and change the speed limit to 60 miles an hour. If the law says 55, then the speed limit is 55. If you get a ticket, you earned it. You've earned it. Break the law. You want to steal something from a store and then hit the clerk on the way out, then you deserve to be arrested. Where has that happened? Oh yeah, Michael Brown. Michael Brown not only stole something, hit the clerk trying to get out of the store, then tried to beat on the officer, then tried to take his gun, and then he ends up charging the officer and ends up getting shot after trying to take his gun. Oh, but he was hands up, don't shoot. What a lie. Read the DOJ report. Read the DOJ report. If Michael Brown had complied and turned around, put his hands behind his back, been arrested, charged with petty larceny and assault, he'd be alive and he never would have gone to jail probably. Not for 2 misdemeanors like that, right? But no, somebody, some twisted-minded piece of crap out there decides that they want to start telling young people that you can resist the police. You don't have to listen to the man. You don't need to do all that. If they tell you you're under arrest, just walk away. Just walk away and get your butt kicked. You idiots. And those of you out there, what's funny is, think about the people out there that are pushing this narrative about, oh, you don't have to worry about it. Just walk away. Just walk away. You don't have to. They can't arrest you. They can't arrest you. They're telling you that from the comfort of their homes. I'll guarantee you when they get pulled over, if they get pulled over, they comply with everything they're told. But they're not worried about themselves. They're not worried about you. They're worried about themselves. Got that backwards. They're worried about themselves, not you. They're trying to get people out there to cause this huge divide. The police are evil. The police are evil. But yet they use the police to protect themselves when they're giving speeches somewhere, right? Oh, we need police protection. We need police protection. They use the cops then. But, oh, if you get pulled over, resist the man. Go out there and make a... You guys are totally wrong. Totally wrong. Comply or die. I never said that. It's comply or you're going to get what you deserve. If you decide you want to resist a legal arrest and you get hit with a baton or you get hit with pepper spray or you get tased, you asked for it. You are not allowed to break the law and walk away. It doesn't work that way. And it shouldn't work that way. As a matter of fact, law enforcement agencies themselves, partially thanks to prosecuting attorneys that aren't prosecuting anymore, invite this kind of trouble, right? Like all these mass shoplifting things where they go into like Nordstrom's and Target and Walmart, like 100 people, they go in and just take and destroy stuff or whatever. Every single one of them deserves to go to jail. How many have they charged? Not many. And what's happening? Walmart and Target, and Starbucks, they're all leaving. They're all leaving those neighborhoods, the neighborhoods that need the money, the neighborhoods that need that economic support in order to survive. They're all leaving. There's nowhere to buy groceries anymore in some of these cities. Why? Because these dumb, idiotic mobs, criminals, thugs, pieces of garbage raid these places in the hundreds, hurt the employees, steal stuff, and destroy property. They all should go to jail. There's no exception, no excuse, nothing. So the purpose of this video, or the purpose of this channel, is not only to help find Americans try to get jobs as law enforcement officers, but it's to tell you about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this is the ugly. The ugly is that there's some parts of society that are out there telling people to resist the police, and they're getting hurt. That sucks. It's terrible for somebody to get hurt. It's terrible for the loss of life. It's terrible for the officer that has to do it. They have to live with it. They don't want to be out there shooting somebody if they don't have to. It is not a dream of any law enforcement officer to go into the career and say, gee, you know what? I hope I get to shoot somebody today. They don't do that. That's not how this works. But when people force our hands and put us in positions where we don't have any choice, then that's where it ends up. Comply. Do what you're told. There are plenty of attorneys out here that would love to sue a law enforcement agency. Everybody's wearing body cams. Everybody's got cameras in their cars. They keep them for at least 30, 60, 90 days, up to a year now in the digital age. Some places keep them for like 3 years. You want to sue an officer for doing something wrong? It's probably on video anyway, whether somebody's around with their iPhone or not. Go ahead, go get an attorney, but don't resist arrest. You're stupid. If you resist arrest, you are an idiot. And if anybody tells you to resist arrest, they're even bigger idiots, because they're telling you to do something that they won't do themselves. So go ahead, make the comments on here about, oh, comply or die, because that's a bunch of horse crap. That's the kind of stuff that you use to stoke other people into not doing the right thing. The right thing is, if you break the law, pay the price. It's just like if you bet on a sports game and you lose, pay up. You want to speed? Get a ticket. You want to steal something? Get charged. Go to jail. Pay your fines. And then move on. Learn from your mistakes. Go ahead. Resist arrest. You want to know what you're going to get? You're going to get whatever it takes to take you into custody. Not minimum amount of force necessary to effect the arrest. Whatever force is necessary to effect the arrest. There's no minimum. Go ahead. You want to kick? Then they'll break out their baton or their pepper spray or their taser. And you ask for it. Comply. Go through the process. If you're wrongly charged, then sue them. I'm all for it. Bad cops need to be identified. I agree with that. Comply, or just you want to fight just because you want to fight, and you want to resist because you want to resist. It's stupid. And whoever told you that, they're even more stupid or stupider. All right? Don't be doing that crap. All right. All right. I feel better now. So that's it for today. So this is about talking about, again, what the channel is really about, right? So yes, I want to help anybody I can get into a career in law enforcement. Oh yeah, and by the way, you think cops suck? Then why don't you join up and make it better? Be the world you want to see. Huh? Be the change you want to see. Go ahead. I dare you. Sign up. Go out there and then show us how it's done. All right? So do that. All right. Hey, sorry. That's definitely a big rant, but that's kind of what the channel is going to be talking about now. We are going to talk about interviews and polygraphs and the academy and FTO and all that good stuff. But we're also going to talk about the good, bad, and the ugly, right? We're going to talk about some good deeds when I find them. We're going to talk about some bad deeds. I mean, there are definitely some cops out there that either have been poorly trained or they're just rotten people and should have never gotten the badge anyway. But it does happen, right? There are a few bad apples no matter where you go, no matter what barrel you go into. And we'll talk about those. And we're going to talk about the ugly, man. We're going to talk about some of these idiots out here that think it's okay to resist arrest. Some of these idiots out here think it's okay to throw rocks at the cops. We're going to talk about some pretty nasty things out there, some scenes that you'll go on and things like that. We're gonna take a deep dive, and I'm hoping not only can I help some people get into the law enforcement career, but anybody else that stumbles across these videos, maybe I can give you a little bit of insight into law enforcement and what the officers go through and what it means to be an officer, and maybe what you should do when you have a certain scenario and you run into an officer. Believe it or not, 99% of the officers, they're all just out there to try to help, right? They just want to serve the public. Sorry about that. Got a fly flying around here. I'm going to leave that in. What the hell? So if you go talk to them or ask them a question, or if you do something wrong and get caught, believe it or not, even if you make a mistake, they can be empathetic. But you have to act right. Don't be an ass. If you're an ass, they're just going to charge you and send you away. It's whatever. But if you actually have remorse, then there's a good chance that they'll try to work with you if they can. All right? So, anyway, all right. I can relax now. All right. So, again, I really appreciate you tuning in to In Pursuit 360. Again, hit that subscribe button. Bell notification will tell you when the next video is coming out. Thumbs up, thumbs down if you have to. Hey, you got some hate speech or something, go ahead and throw it out there. You know what? I'm going to quit deleting them, because the people out there watching these videos that want to make a positive difference in the world, they need to see what kind of stupid idiots are out there that are willing to make these dumb comments without having any clue and not willing to put any skin in the game to try to make their communities better. People want to be cops to make the communities better, and all you want to do is sit behind your little screen typing going, yeah, you all suck. Oh, what a gang logo. You all just want to kill people. Yeah, right. So if you think you're so much better, go ahead. Sign up, get hired, go to the academy, and then get your butt out on the street, and let's see how you do. All right? All right, anyway. All right, so thanks again for tuning in to In Pursuit 360. Hope to see you next time. In the meanwhile, be safe out there.